Welcome to the Park City Market Talk webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, broker here at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide in Park City.
And I'm Jeremy Wilstein, the buyer's agent for the Wilstein team. And here we're here to share with you the September 2014 Park City Market Talk webinar. And we got some important news to share with you.
That's right. Let's jump right into it. But we're kind of at the end of the summer. We want to just remind everyone to get out and enjoy Park City, whether it's the Park City Market or the Deer Valley concerts. Lots to do in Park City.
And then as always, we're going to update you on what's happening in the Park City real estate market.
And then the most important announcement, we're going to talk about the battle of the resorts between Park City Mountain Resort and Talisker. We've got very important news to update you on here today.
Well, it's final months for mountain biking, hiking, and other fall activities. Winter, I think we're going to have a huge winter this year. We've been getting so much rain. It just rained again today. So looking forward to the fall season and a big winter snow season.
That's right. We'll make up for last year.
Yep.
Then be sure to get out to those activities. Lots happening in the final months. You can always go to nowplayingutah.com or visit ParkCity.com to get the latest calendar of fun things to see here before the snow falls.
All right, well, let's jump right into it and talk about the real estate market. There was 1,327 sales in Park City over the past 12 months. That's down 1% or 17 sales. If you've been following our webinars, this is the first time we've seen actually a decline in number of sales.
That's right. So let's analyze and see why that is. On this graph here, we're broken down the homes, condos, and lots. We're comparing a year-over-year, September 2013 to August 2014 with the 12-month period beforehand. And you can right away see that the decline is in the category of homes. Went from 580 homes to 501, mathematically a 14% decline. Condominium sales are actually up by 5% from 572 the previous year to 603 this year. And lots, well, the vacant land is where we're seeing the majority of increases, up 16% from 192 transactions to 223 sales.
All right, and digging deeper into the home sales, we want to separate the categories between Park City city limits and the Snyderville Basin. Inside the city limits, we're down 13% from 191 sales to 167 sales for single-family homes, and then down 14% in Snyderville Basin from 389 to 334 home sales this year.
We do want to mention that the reason for this decline is our inventory of single-family homes is down, and those that are priced properly are selling very quickly. Those who aren't are not, but overall the choices available to buyers is limited. They're sitting on the sidelines looking for the next listing to come on the market to see if it matches what they're after. Mm-hmm. When we turn our attention to condominiums, inside the Park City limits is basically no change. It's one less transaction this year at 346 compared to 347 the year before in the Park City limits. The county, however, in the Snyderville Basin is reflecting a 14% increase from 225 to 257. Again, more inventory is available there, and so it's being purchased out there.
And then taking a look at land, inside the city limits, we're down 14%. Again, well, that's just 7 sales difference. Again, in the city limits, there's limited inventory of vacant land available, so there's just not really much land. As the polar opposite, you can see in the Snyderville Basin or the county area, we're up 27% with land sales, up from 143 to 181 sales. So there's ample amount of inventory out in the county, and people are buying it up very quickly.
And we're seeing that because of the lack of single-family homes available, many buyers are turning to vacant land to build their home because they're just not finding it among the current inventory of properties. Average time on the market is a little bit longer. It's only 4 days, so we don't want to make a big deal out of that. But we watch that carefully because that speaks to demand also in the marketplace. So what's happening with prices, Jeremy?
All right, so these charts are looking at the home median sold price. Again, same time periods. Inside the city limits, while we have had a 13% decline in number of sales, the median sold price is up 17%.
Nice.
From $1,150,000 to $1,347,450. In the Snyderville Basin, we're up 2% from $702,500 to $720,000. So big increase in the city limits, while the sales are down. Sales are down in the Snyderville Basin, but we're still seeing an increase in prices.
Now let's look at condominiums. Here in the city limits, it's up about 4% in valuation, from $505,500 now to $525,500, so up about $20,000. In the Snyderville Basin, we have a 10% increase from a previous year median price of $310,000 to $339,500. So good numbers there in terms of values increasing in real estate.
And then lastly, taking a look at lot median sold prices in the city limits, we're up 3%. From $580,000 to $599,000. And take a look at the Snyderville Basin. We were up, I think, 27% in terms of number of sales, and we're also up 27% in terms of prices. That's amazing. So up from $257,500 to $327,000.
Now let's jump into our most important, exactly, most important news, breaking news. This is important because just today we learned some really important things about our local resorts. We've reported in the past about the battle of the resorts between Park City Mountain Resort, or PCMR, and Talisker in terms of land rights, and we were actually very, very concerned about whether or not the Park City Mountain Resort would be opening for the 2014-2015 season. So the breaking news as of today is that it will be. The legal dispute that they've been in for a long time made it rather uncertain, and even our mayor said, the economic impact if the resort didn't open could be as much as $180 million, but we're opening.
All right.
So tune up the skis. All right, let's take a look at what kind of the history is. You may be familiar with this, but just to retrace it a little bit.
So the background on this is that for many years, the resort has been operated by Park City Mountain Resort, also known as Powder Corp, which is owned by the Cummings family. PCMR has been paying rent to Talisker Land Holdings. It's a Canadian-based company who owns the majority. I think they own 85 or 90% of the land that Park City Mountain Resort operates, the upper section of the resort. There was a PCMR signed a lease 50 years ago for a very, very low rate of $155,000 a year. In April of 2011, the lease lapsed, and Park City somehow didn't realize it, which is beyond any of our imaginations. Yeah. And Talisker found, in the meanwhile, found a much higher paying tenant, and that's the well-known Vail Resorts. Instead of paying $155,000 a year in rent, Vail signed a long-term contract to pay $25 million a year, a modest jump from the $155,000 lease payment.
How about that one? All right, so big increase there. As part of the deal, Vail received operating rights to Canyons Resort next door, so they got a lot for their money. Vail Resort went into this deal knowing that the access to the bottom of Park City Mountain Resort was not guaranteed. After all, it was owned and is owned by the Cummings family and the Powder Corp. However, they felt that leasing Canyons at $25 million a year was still worthwhile, and so they went forward with that deal.
PCMR was then served with an eviction notice, but the CEO of Powder Corp PCMR, John Cummings, appealed it.
And on August 27th, Judge Ryan Harris heard arguments about what sort of bond PCMR should put up to delay the eviction, because now we were getting closer to the upcoming season, and frankly everyone was wondering whether it was going to happen or not. Would the resort be open? A lot of pressure in the community from the mayor, from the county officials, and so the way to resolve this, to delay the eviction, was to post a bond, and so the judge heard the different arguments from each side there. At the same time, he ordered mediation behind closed doors between Vail and Park City, and they've been meeting for several weeks now. They've had deadlines, but the judge continued to extend it in the hopes that they could resolve it and come to a conclusion that would be in the best interest of both parties as well as the community at large.
So PCMR proposed a bond between $1 million and $6 million.
Talisker asked for a bond of $124 million. A little bit of a difference. I think one reporter said it's like ships passing in the night.
Judge Ryan Harris did rule as of last week that the bond amount will be $17,500,000 for PCMR to post to operate for the 2014-2015 season to delay the eviction.
And that judgment, or ruling rather, was made last Friday, September 5th, and he gave a deadline of this Friday, which is the 12th, in order for PCMR to decide to put up the money or face consequences. Good news is PCMR did just today, Tuesday, agree to post the $17.5 million bond required to postpone the eviction. And now we are happy to report that we are going to be open. Not we, it's not my resort.
Thank God.
But the March,
thank God.
Yes, PCMR will be open for skiing for this upcoming ski season. Very important news. Great for the community. Great for everybody involved, frankly. Meanwhile, Park City and Vail and Talisker are sent back in for mediation because they still have things to work through, and it's going to take a while on the appeal process. So they'll continue to work and hopefully come to a resolution, and we, the Wilstein team, will continue to keep you informed of any changes on this. But good news, we're very happy to report Park City Mountain Resort will be open this upcoming season for skiing and riding.
All right. So we want to turn our attention, what impact is this having on visitor reservations? And according to Park City rental companies, bookings are actually ahead of last year. They're strong going into the upcoming ski season, so many visitors don't seem to have been pushed to go to other ski destinations because of this ongoing lawsuit that has now been, well, hasn't been settled, but now we know that the resort will be open this year.
Yeah, I think everyone assumed that there would be some resolution that would be reached, and at this point, the resolution comes by way of that bond. What impact is it having upon the real estate market? There's been a small amount of concern and reluctance among some buyers, frankly not that many, but in the midst of the uncertainty, which as of today is now overcome, will it be open, will it not be open? Yeah, some people had cold feet, especially those looking at buying a property as investment property, anticipating the upcoming rental income that would be generated during the upcoming ski season, not sure whether it was going to happen. Those guys are now wiggling their toes. So overall, the impact has been minimal, and again, now that a resolution has been met, I think it will probably stimulate some of those buyers to get back into the marketplace. In the meantime, get out and enjoy Park City.
All right.
Look at that. Those are all the things you can do while it's still warm. Hiking and biking and some water sports, although it's getting a little chilly, I got to admit, for that. But go out there and enjoy Park City before the seasons change.
All right, as always, if you have questions, feel free to email us 24/7, Ron or Jeremy at the Wilstein team, and then also Ed or Dean at the Wilstein team. We'll get those questions answered right away.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us. We'll do another update Tuesday, October 14th, and maybe we'll have more to report on the Talisker PCMR, but I got a feeling it's going to be quiet here for a couple months now.
Yes.
If you want to watch any of our previous webinars, feel free to go to our website, thewilsteintteam.com/webinar archives, and you can watch them there. So from Park City, we're signing off. See you on the slopes when the snow falls, but get out there and enjoy the mountains.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.